Whoa, we have a very special guest for you today. He comes all the way from South Dakota. He's a cowboy, he's a rancher, he's a fossil hunter, paleontologist. He's an amazing person, and he's the actual person who found Bucky the teenage T Rex all the way from South Dakota. Here is Bucky Derflinger. Hey, Bucky!
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. How's South Dakota right now?
Good, doing good.
Good.
Green.
What's the is it green out there? Do you got enough grass?
We've got a lot of grass. It's green. We're doing pretty good. We had a really nice rain just a couple nights ago, so yeah, we're doing great.
Cool, cool. Well, thank you for talking with us all the way from South Dakota. I know it's a little earlier there. I appreciate you talking with us today. I have some hard-hitting questions, my friend. Some questions that you've never answered before, so you better get ready.
Okay, I'll do my best.
We're going to get started by learn a little bit more about you. But when did you first start getting interested in dinosaurs?
I got hooked on dinosaurs when I was about 8 years old. We took a field trip with our school to a museum in Rapid City, South Dakota, and that's where I developed my passion for fossils. Was on that field trip when I was 8.
Did you find any fossils when you were that old in your area?
Well, right after that, yeah, my dad, he took me out to the place there, and on the weekend, just right after that, and he took me out, and the very first thing I found was a big T Rex tooth. So, yeah.
That kind of leads me to my next question about T Rexes, Bucky. You discovered a couple of T Rexes a little while ago. Can you take us through the process of how you found those T Rexes and how you got affiliated with the Children's Museum?
Yeah. So after after I had found the first T Rex, and we'd went on to find the other one with the teeth in it, I had actually took a trip to Hill City, South Dakota, the Black Hills Institute, and they had the actual skeleton to stand the T Rex mounted in the museum. And when I walked up to that skeleton, the first bone that I recognized in it was the toe bone that I had picked up from the first one. So I knew it was a T Rex then too. And in the course of that, we started digging. We dug the first one with the skull, and then we we were looking really hard for a place where we could showcase where as many kids we could get to see a skeleton. And we found out that the Children's Museum was looking for one. And so the president of the museum and some of the people came out, and we got to visit with them. And then they flew me back to Indianapolis, and we saw the Children's Museum, and we just decided right then and there that's where it had to be. So it ended up being the absolute perfect place. So
That's cool. And you've been to the museum about 3 times every year since then, really? Since
yeah, we've made several trips back there. So
yeah, you're an unofficial Hoosier, I think. Okay, Bucky. So why is South Dakota such a hotbed for Cretaceous dinosaurs?
the reason why we're finding so many right now, uh, in South Dakota, it's eroding fast, and we've got down to the time where I live is the geological time that dinosaurs were there. So, like not very long ago, maybe 1,000 years or something before that, they were actually older. So as as we erode, we're getting lower and lower in the formation of time, and just right now, it just happens to be the right place at the right time. So, the longer time goes, the more that it erodes, the older we'll get in the history of the Earth. So,
That's cool. So we had Bucky Derflinger alive and T Rex is eroding at the same time, and they met right there, and you found it right at the perfect time.
there it is. I've always been
That's
lucky.
pretty amazing. So what are some of the ways that finding those T Rexes have changed your life?
Oh man, it's really weird when I think back about my life. It's like divided into two parts. There was before the dinosaur, and then after the dinosaur. Uh, and that's the best way I can explain it. I've had so many more opportunities and met so many people because of that. It's just it's precious. It really is. I get to see so many faces that I would have never had the chance to meet. All these people and even little kids that are excited about it. If I'd never stumbled across some bones, or got hooked on dinosaurs when I was 8 years old. So it's been quite a trip.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. So, so what are some of your favorite moments from visiting Indianapolis?
I guess the friendships that I've formed the most. Uh, I'm kind of fond of that guy. That guy. Oh, Josh. Yeah, no, Josh is a good friend of mine. Um, I've got to go to a bunch of Colts games. I've got to meet so many people. Got to meet Peyton Manning back in the day. And
Yeah,
that was all because of the museum, dinosaurs. So yeah,
yeah, that was cool.
yeah,
For everyone that doesn't know, the museum kind of always has a point of contact with anyone, like Bucky or another contractor. And I've been Bucky's point of contact for the museum for, gosh, how long? 15, 16 years or so?
yeah. Since
2000.
'06,
Yeah.
'05, '06.
So we've been good buddies for a long time. We eat dinner a lot here in Indianapolis. What's your favorite place to eat here in Indianapolis?
Ruth's Chris.
That was a good time.
Yeah,
That was a good time.
yeah,
Had a
best.
good steak.
Great.
Yeah. And you know steak well. And that was a good steak.
What's that?
You know steak pretty well, and that
That
was a pretty good steak that night.
that was the best one I've ever had. Yes.
Okay, here's a hard hitting question. Have you ever been in a museum donor's car and a brand new car, a very expensive car, and accidentally ruined their door?
Ouch. That one went all the way to the bone. On live, you're gonna go there?
So what happened with that car, Bucky?
Well, we had a donor for the museum that we got to be really good friends with. Wanted to take us out to eat, and shows up with their pride and joy Barbara Mandrell's Rolls Royce car. And I get in this car, and first thing when I opened the door, it was like it was spring loaded or something, and about hopped out of my hand. So I told myself, I said, "Hey, you got to hang on to this door when you get out." And so we go to this fancy restaurant. I go to open the door, and it's parked beside another one. I hit the latch. It pops out of my hand and hits a car beside us. And I felt like I got kicked in the stomach by a horse.
I'm sorry, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Josh. You're my
No
guy.
problem. Anytime. Hey, but I think everyone was fine with it. The owner of the car was absolutely fine with it.
Yeah,
Knew that part of it.
he's a great guy, and it didn't do anything, but it made me feel horrible.
I bet it did.
I'm
Glad to
sweating
bring
right
that
now just telling this story.
up. Maybe sometime when you're interviewing me, you can bring up some crazy.
It's on like Donkey Kong now, son.
All right. In the book that was written about your life here. Uh,
Ouch!
oh wait, that's not it. That's not it. This one is this one. Is this one? Bucky the Dinosaur Cowboy. You mentioned your daughter Jamie. I know you're very proud of her. What's she doing these days?
Well, right now she actually got a really good job as she does environmental studies. She went into soil conservation and environmental science, and so that's what she does when she's not uh, actually a really hot shot barrel racer in the rodeo. So that's kind of what she does. She likes being in nature, and she told me yesterday that she was counting bird nests for the government. So perfect job.
That's cool. I'm
Yeah,
glad she got her intellect from her mother.
absolutely. We are in agreement.
Hey, Bucky, I want to thank you for talking to us today. But I got one last question. What would you have to say to all the aspiring paleontologists out there that want to become a fossil person like yourself?
If you're very serious about fossils, I read everything I could read when I was growing up, and there's a lot more information now with the internet and that kind of thing. But if you're really serious about it, you need to get in touch with the museum. the Children's Museum is a perfect place. They've got mentorships there where they can come in, they can work in the lab, work on fossils. They get to go out on digs sometimes, and it opens up so many avenues that I never even had a chance to. And you get in contact with people like me, and it's a great start. So it's all set
Yeah.
up there. All they got to do is just make the move and become a member of the Children's Museum. That's a perfect way.
That's great, Bucky. Something's been kind of itching at me. A question I want to ask you about licking fossils. Is that really true that you can lick a fossil and it tells any difference there?
You don't really know a fossil until you've licked it. Yeah, that is true.
Why is that? Why is that true?
Well, there's pores in it, and identification sometimes gets really hard out in the field. Uh, Even for me, like I've been around it my whole life. But if you take a rock and you put it on your tongue, it it usually doesn't stick, but a fossil will. So like a dinosaur bone with all those little pores in it from the marrow and that kind of thing, they'll stick to your tongue. So yeah, there's lots of times you'll see me. Yeah, that's how you do it.
I always thought that was a way to get newbies to try to taste rabbit scab, but it must be true.
There are tricks that we play in the field. I gotta warn you.
Hey, cool. Hey, Bucky, I want to thank you so much for chatting with us today. I hope you make it back to the museum soon after this is all done. We're reopening everything. So thank you so much for chatting with us today, and we hope to see you real soon.
You bet. Thank you, sir. Tell everybody I said hi.
Will do. You as well. Tell Mari, Joe, and Jamie I said hi too.
Will do.